Hi, this is Francis from Easel. Today I'm going to be doing a short tutorial video on how to create a wasteboard grid in Easel. And essentially this is a project that you can carve directly into your wasteboard to create a grid pattern on it. And I'm just going to kind of walk through how I would make this project. And I think it's relatively simple, but we're just going to kind of walk through it. To start, you want to make sure that your material size is the same size as your wasteboard. So in this instance, my wasteboard size is 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters. And so my material size mirrors that at 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters. And then as far as the thickness goes, I'd say anything close to ½ an inch is going to be fine. I think that's just going to be fine, but you want to have something that's a little bit thick because we are going to carve into it a little bit. Once you have your material set, you can start by using the Easel line tool and setting a point in the corner of your material and bringing it all the way down to the other corner point on your y-axis. So you're essentially going from the top to the bottom on the y-axis. Then you can select that line, go into the Easel apps and select the replicator app. Here, you're going to want to default to one row. The spacing can be whatever you want your grid spacing to be. In this instance, I'm going to make it 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters, but again, it's whatever you want it to be. And then I'm going to do 15 columns. When I use the slider, it only slides up to 10, so you can adjust that even more by typing into it and just selecting 15. And then I'm going to import it. I wouldn't use center distance in this instance because that's going to take it off the center point. You just want to use the basis off of your first line. Then I import that, and we can see that if I take my measurement tool and go from the center of one line to the center of the other line, it's going to be 20 millimeters. If I take it again and go from the center of here to the center of here, that's 20 millimeters. But I'm going to get rid of this line because I don't want to carve a line directly on the edge of my wasteboard. And we just want to double check now that this line from here to here is 20 millimeters. It looks like it is. Perfect. So now we've got our grid going one way and we want to make it go the other way. And this is really easy with a square wasteboard. If you have like a rectangular wasteboard, this step is going to be a little different. I'm going to show it and then explain how you can change that. So essentially, I'm going to click off my measurement and then select each of my lines. Click on Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And it's going to paste a second copy of my lines. I'm then going to rotate it 90 degrees and then edit and center it to my material. And that's going to center that grid on my material going in the opposite direction. And if we zoom in here, grab our measurement tool, from here to here, it's 20 millimeters. And from here to here, it's 20 millimeters. And now we've got our grid. Because these are lines that we've drawn or based on lines we've drawn, anytime we change our bit, the lines are going to get thicker. They aren't going to move, they're just going to get wider. So they'll still be, the center point of those lines will still be 20 millimeters away from each other, but the lines will get thicker. So that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about a bit to use. In this instance, I'd probably change the cut depth to something really slight and then use something like a V-bit, say like a 30-degree V-bit, to get a really slight line, and that'll just give me just like kind of a very slight carve in, but it'll be very thin, but I'll still get that grid, and it'll be close to that center line point. One thing that I'll mention really quickly is if you have, let's say, like a wasteboard that's longer in one dimension than the other, you can just go into Shape, and in this instance, just change the width slightly. So you could do something like 600, and that'll extend it out. You'll then just center it to your wasteboard, and that should get it right where you need it to be in that dimension. So that's just a little bit more about how to create a grid on your in Easel for your wasteboard. If you have any questions, please comment in the video below and have a wonderful day.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.